This is MMA Oddsbreaker.
Okay, moving on to UFC 148. We're going to fill 3 fights from that card today. Starting off with the co-main event, what should be the co-main event. It's Cung Le versus Rich Franklin. And this time we're going to start things off with Zach. Zach, I'm going to open up Rich Franklin as the favorite. It's been a little while since he's been in the octagon, but he's coming in minus 325. The comeback on Cung Le is going to be plus 255. Give me your thoughts and give me your bet.
I'm surprised Rich is only a 75% favorite going in this fight. Personally, I think he should be a much bigger favorite. Cung Le is exciting of a performance that he had against Vanderlei Silva. Looked very shaky on the stand-up, and I think once Rich Franklin gets him on the ground, it's going to be a brutal beating. I could definitely see him winning by TKO in the 3rd round.
All right, so Zach's not going to hesitate at all to lay that juice. It's going to be $16.25 to win $500 on Rich Franklin. Let's throw it over to John Luther and get his thoughts on this. John, what do you think?
I think Zach's a smart guy. I mean, I'm right there with him, man. Listen, I'm not a big Cung Le fan at all. I think he's spoiled. I think that he's had favorable matchmaking, both from Sean Shelby, and Jay Silva in the UFC, as well as Rich Chu in Strikeforce. I think that he did his stint in Hollywood, and he just wants to come back to MMA whenever he wants a paycheck. That's what I think. Listen, he couldn't even beat a worn down Vanderlei Silva, a guy who's been through absolute wars. I don't see how he can possibly beat Rich Franklin. Zach's given him, 3 rounds? I'm giving him maybe 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Rich Franklin beats him in the 1st round. I think this line couldn't be long enough. I'm going with Rich Franklin all day, every day.
All right, strong words from both of our guests. And at this point, I have to say I agree as well. So the line's probably going to be a little bit higher when it does hit the sports books. But right now, both guys are laying $16.25 to win $500 on Rich Franklin over Cung Le.
Well, that's it for another episode of MMA Oddsbreakers. Thanks a lot for joining us. And thanks to our special guests, John Luther and Zach Arnold. Great job as always. Like I said before, you don't get better information than you get from those guys. Thanks, guys.
And for those interested in keeping up with the Oddsbreaker Show, make sure you follow us on Twitter at MMA Oddsbreaker for all the latest updates. For Miguel Iturrate, I'm Nick Kalika saying until next time, enjoy the fights.